Hi, everybody. How are you this afternoon? It is afternoon. Almost, actually. It's not quite afternoon here on the East Coast, where I am still hanging out with my parents. And I'm actually drinking coffee. Ooh, not tea, which may make whatever messages come out interesting. I screwed up my thumb. Oh no, I wasn't cooking anything. I was washing dishes last night after we made dinner, and I was paying attention too. I kind of all of a sudden lost my grip, and I brought my thumb down just as the knife turned over and went. It's a good one. It's still bleeding. I might have to get stitches. Anyway, right now, this is what's up. So there's no piano right now, I might have some difficulty with the cards. I did not try to shuffle. We'll see. Anyway, so that happened last night. But I'm going to do the Shadowscape Tarots. These guys have wanted to come out, and I haven't been in the right lighting to work with these cards because they're so delicate. You know, you see they're very, but I think we're good here in the afternoon. Ish. It's almost noon. But regardless of noon, wherever it is or whatever time it is in the world that you are, this message is for you whenever you're reading it or hearing it. Whatever your reading is. That's what you should be doing. I love that came up. You should definitely, when you read the cards, like pause the video and look at the spread that because there's it's there. Pause it. Just look at what you're reading, what you're picking up without my voice. I think that's a really great way for people to start practicing and working with it because, really anybody can read the cards. It really is a practice thing. It really is a practice thing. So let's turn this card around. Ooh, some of these cards are definitely in upside down order. So I'm just going to take a quick, you know what? Because I traveled with these and they're not in their usual lovely but larger box. And because this was the one with like the book and all that stuff. So anyway, I traveled with these in their bags, so they kind of got jostled around in the travel. I'll be here for a few more weeks in Rhode Island, just kind of hanging with my family, which now I'm doing. Health benefits of doing nothing have been wonderful, and it's always nice to be in the loving arms of family. I didn't realize how much I missed that. No, I think I knew. I knew. I just, you can only go so far down that rabbit hole. You can't just sit around and cry about it all the time. Because obviously I cry pretty easily, but yeah. Being surrounded by people who love you is really the best medicine, as it turns out. Anyway, I'm sending much love and light to all of you, which I expressed and was really feeling in the video that I did a couple of days ago. I wasn't up to snuff with my thumb and everything last night, but I want to come in and do a reading for Thursday, and we are now in August. It'll be Thursday, August 5th. So I hope you're well in your world. And no matter what is going on in your world, please know to have faith and to look beyond the discomforts and the appearances of things and look and listen to our hearts is the best way to approach any situation. Continually have faith. And I am shuffling a lot slower. Not that I was ever any good at this. But that's all good. It's all good. The cards will come out still the way they want to come out. Like, share, subscribe. That's the best way to get the messages out to those who do need them at this time. Right now, I think our faith in our own inner voice, our faith in what's greater than us is being taxed quite a bit by a lot of chatter. And being quiet, being still. Wrapping our own loving arms around ourselves is always the best way to get that voice, that inner quiet voice, always leads us exactly where we need to go. Feels today, yeah, whatever the messages are, whenever you hear them, they are meant for you to hear them. So definitely share what I'm offering here wherever you can. And if you want your own private reading, you can email me at lisa.loring@gmail.com. All right. So what are the messages for Thursday, August? I keep wanting to say July, and I don't know whether that's because I said July for a long time. I felt like July was a lot in a long time. July always feels forever. But yeah, it's Thursday, August 5th. Maybe the feels of July. Some of the things that we visited that came up for us in July to work with are, I think that's actually quite true, are present for us for this reading. Opportunity to utilize the lessons. What are the messages for Thursday, August 5th, 2021? For the collective. Clear my energy. This is the Shadowscapes Tarot deck by Stephanie Pui Mun Law and Barbara Moore. We also have the Blessed Bee deck by Lucy Cavendish. I forget, I think Janet is the name of the artist for that deck as well. What are the messages for Thursday, August 5th? Being patient and allowing things their own time is a huge piece of what we're feeling right now. Here's one message that's coming out. The Six of Wands. Card of Victory. I'm drawn to the nautilus shells, which are a pretty strong feature in almost all of the cards in this deck, regardless of whether the nautilus is a, regardless of the fact that the nautilus is a feature of as a water, has a water element to it. It's here in the wands, and accessing our feelings, listening to our feelings, giving them their breath, giving them their space, giving them their breath from soup to nuts, from the first start of the feeling to the end of the feeling, not truncating them, not cutting them off, is the way to victory, is the way to standing on top and seeing things clearly. To taking our passions and moving them forward. The Seven of Wands is the card that comes after the Six of Wands, and in the Seven of Wands, that is a card of standing up for what we believe in, regardless of what's going on around us. The only way we can do that is if we really take the moment to feel all the entirety of our feelings, feel how we feel in each and every moment, in order to stand up for our beliefs. We can't get there until we actually know how we feel about them. We can't just accept what we feel. Even look at even our feelings are, maybe tainted with thoughts that that absolutely don't serve the purpose, that have served their purpose but no longer do in the current reality. In whatever given situation that might be, in the broader global sense or within our own personal small arenas. Okay? Go through the whole thing. I'm also drawn to this like green gem at the bottom. Again, that the green being a color of the heart chakra. Feeling What does our heart wisdom have to say? And all of that is, this is part of the foundation on which this individual is standing. Okay? God, I love being out here in my parents' yard. I literally have done almost nothing today. No, well, I've just been meditating and reading. I'm going to wait to do anything hugely physical until this gets under control. I haven't done a good one like that since years ago. I cut my toe on a shell when I was with friends. Oh my God. So my big toe, same foot, I think. Same part of the body, my right side. That's not true. I probably have done, yeah, you know what? Maybe on that thumb, with the cheese knife, I cut a chunk out of my knuckle. Woo! Oh, here we have other cards. Oh, 3 cards came out. Oh gosh, and I picked them up and they're in the reverse. So, 2 of Wands, the Moon, and Temperance. So here we have choices, and these all came out in the reverse. They came into my lap, and here they are in the reverse. So there are 4 cats actually in this card. We'll read them in the upright. When they all come out in reverse like that, I like to make sure we look at them in the upright so we can get the, the darker meaning behind, when I say dark, I don't mean like dark magic and evil intent. What I mean is the aspects of a situation that are not apparent for the most part. Let's see what we have to. Let's see what's going on. So the 2 of Wands is a card of making a decision between 2 different paths, 2 different things that are motivating, that are passionate or passionate about. We have 4 cats in this, though. Do you see this little guy over here? Yeah. And then we have the unicorn lion figure, again with a nautilus kind of feature on its rump there. A nautilus feature, and I didn't go into it. I just seeing the feeling aspect of it. A nautilus would be, you have to move into the nautilus remains buoyant by the creation of its own shell, and so a nautilus will move from each chamber. Let me pick this card up so you can see it. Each chamber, it'll move from one chamber into the next, into the next, into the next. The living body of it, where there's a gas that fills up into the chamber it has removed itself from. So a gas will fill in and it will keep it buoyant. So but it will not survive. It can't survive. It grows too big to live into these smaller chambers that it's leaving behind. So we are working, and we're working in ways that continue to expand we can, even though Jupiter is in retrograde, for instance. I'm feeling a lot of Jupiterian energy right now. I don't think I'm sure there's some aspect going on astrologically, but I'm not. I've been a little quiet with that lately, so I can't draw that up right now. But I'm feeling of a Jupiterian impulse here, where even in its retrograde, Jupiter still expands. Even though it would seemingly be in retrograde, it's just going to expand things on the inside. This is the area that Jupiter is now in the high degrees of Aquarius. Remember, we talked about last week where you have 0 to 29, which are essentially 30 degrees, because 0 is a number. But you have 29 degrees in any zodiac sign. And Jupiter, I think, is still at the 29th degree of Aquarius. It's in its retrograde, and it will remain in retrograde until it goes direct at the end of November. So even in its retrograde, though, it's going back through the degrees that Mercury went retrograde around the time of the lockdown in 2020, in like May, and I think it was February and March. When what was I going to say, of 2020? So it's actually marching over it's expanding upon when Mercury did that retrograde, so I said I wasn't going to talk about the astrology. Kidding. Mercury went retrograde over these same degrees at that time, and that was about like the collective, our internal look through, how we feel and how we behave as a collective, behave within the collective as individuals. You can boil it down to about that. Again, always, I always encourage you, I don't have the full picture of astrology. I am very much a learner, a student. But Dorothy Morgan, Christopher Witecki, with Sirius Joy, Siris Joy, and Peace Dealer is another good one, and David Palmer, the Leo King. I would look into those individuals for really, like I've said before, Dorothy Morgan, New Hampshire astrologer, she and Christopher Witecki definitely are more educational in terms of their approach to astrology. So you might really, you'll learn a lot by listening to them. You'll get different perspectives from the Peace Dealer and the Leo King. So at any rate, when Mercury did that over that time, again, it was like looking at it. It offered us an internal perspective of, how we think. Our thought processes is how they relate to how we relate within the collective. Again, just a boiled down version. Now Jupiter is going through those degrees as well. So, this is like expanding upon, those things, those discoveries that we learned. I was talking about July. Also expanding upon, this is that opportunity to expand upon what we did, the look through when Jupiter was forward, and Mercury is still forward as well, about expanding upon what we learned about ourselves at that time. Taking those things that we learned, all the lessons of COVID, I will go ahead and say the word, taking those lessons, and what did you learn? What did you learn, especially in those first days, about yourself, about survival, about what you need, in what is really in what you need, what you believe you need, how you approach, being in survival rather than thrival mode, which we want obviously thrival, not just survival, but that certainly cast us into that survival mindset. What did you actually really need? Like, I know for me, I did not. I know I didn't. I kind of did, but didn't. I was very occupied with taking care of the people around me, not myself. Guess what? I'm in a position this time, with Jupiter marching over those degrees, of taking care of myself. And like I said, I'm like doing nothing right now. So we have this choice, right? We have this choice. And in the reverse, a reversal card can simply mean an emphasis on the decisions that we're making. Are we making the same decisions? Like, look into our subconscious, and that's the moon card upside down, right? The moon card in its upright is the subconscious. Right now, it's with the heart, with the feelings, like our feelings are right there. We have the tools that we need. All of this stuff is coming up. Regardless, it's not subconscious anymore. It's right there. It's expanding. That's what that Jupiterian influence. It's like, it's right there. Jupiter's going to take those things and aspects of it that maybe we couldn't quite bring on board or didn't even look at. Right, that's me, right? That's kind of my situation, right? I'm offering that as an opportunity to, some kind of practical way to deal with it, work with it. It's no longer subconscious. It's right there. It's in our feelings. And we can expand upon it individually. We can start making those plans. I talked about that. Belief systems. Jupiter is also about belief systems. I get itchy nose. That must be truth, right? Jupiter is about those belief systems. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, former ruler of traditional ruler of Pisces, the subconscious. But Sagittarius is all about our higher philosophies, our like higher judgment, our higher ideals, our higher education. How are we doing that for ourselves? How are we educating ourselves? And right now it is about the self. within the collective, taking in the, the information around us, and how are we taking all of that information, all of that, and educating ourselves on how we do want to move forward. This is that time to really consider that from within. And there's no need to make a knee-jerk reaction. This is time to just consider it and to look at those belief systems. I said this a couple of days ago. If we do not look at our belief systems, if we do not hold them up to the light, and the moon in reverse is saying, this is being held up to the light, this is your chance. If we aren't willing to do that, that's just blind following. And that's blind following old stuff, old ways of being, old patterning that is done with has given you what it can, but now has to move into another arena. We can't just stay in that one chamber. We have to look at these things. The Temperance card is in reverse as well. The Temperance cards, we have 2 major arcana that have come out. Again, major signposts. And in the reverse, it's like really an emphasis. Do the time. Take the time to be quiet, to look at the belief systems, the thought structures, our philosophies. Are they really measuring up to what you really wanted? Like for me, another thing that's coming up, another offering I will give to you is to work with this is, there were things that I was pursuing a year and a half ago. I thought it was the right way to get them. That wasn't what I've come to understand. And I came to understand this last year around this time, was that there was an essence. My approach sucked. My way of getting, I came from an extreme level of frustration. And it wasn't, yeah, and I let my mind, not my heart, tell me, dictate the way forward. Because my heart was so broken. So broken. And that was not the right way. That wasn't, and what I really wanted was something much smaller and much more heartfelt. And so now we have this opportunity to balance that out, to really get to the bottom. Again, another card of Jupiter. Another card, the Temperance card, is the card of Sagittarius. That balanced perspective. We have to balance the perspective. I'm going to pick one more card. We need to, and alchemizing the heart and the head. Balancing out, like sifting through, taking the time to meld. Let's look at what she's doing here. We'll put it in the upright so you can have a better look at that. But, and cultivate those dreams. What it is that you really want. And maybe it's not going to come out exactly how you want it. That's another thing. This is also divine timing. I spoke about this early. This came up earlier in this conversation. Divine timing. We really have to put the brakes on the expectation of things happening like that. Doesn't work like that. We have to really alchemize. We have to co-create. These cards are all here. That the path is here. We are going to choose to either ride on the big cat going forward, right? Or and bring the little cats with us. There's plenty of room for those little ones. But we're definitely, or, to simplify, to not go for the big enchilada right now. Just be happy with the little ones that you have at home, right? The small things are, starting out, being willing to start out small in order to put the right elements in place, to continue to contemplate and put the right elements in place. This is also a card of contemplation. Like contemplate your, like I said, your belief structures. We have one more card that wants to come out. So these are the central cards. Maybe. Let's see if there's one more card that wants to come out. These cards have wanted to come out for a while. I'm so grateful for this deck. I love this deck. But we can't stay in the old ways. And you know, what mapping our old lives onto the whatever situations that we currently are in. Again, this is a card of mapping things out. So is this card of Sagittarius, the traveler. Goes out, goes on a journey, comes back with new philosophies to share. Storyteller, new stories. What does the subconscious really want? It's a simpler, I guarantee you it's a simpler thing than what. Get to the essence of it. And this is putting on the brakes. The essence of it is found in the subconscious. It's found through your feelings. Here's that final card. And the Four of Pentacles is the final card. Bottom of the deck, the Two of Cups. I'm drawn on this Two of Cups is divine partnership. Normally the Devil card is here, Seven of Wands. I told you that Seven of Wands card was, that energy was there. Yeah. Five of Wands too. And the Nine of Wands. Ooh, a lot of defensive behavior. Oh, wow. Okay, so, you know, so the Four of Pentacles energy is here as well. So this Four of Pentacles energy is about holding on, you know, despite the fact that we have a lot of, you know, just really looking down, not paying attention. I'm noticing this one little, again, this one little, the little things keep showing themselves to me. These tiny little aspects. Such a detailed deck, right? But these tiny aspects, there's like these small things that are trying to get our attention in these cards. And the smallest of the, but yet brightest of the pentacles is here, balancing on this dragon's tail, but he doesn't seem to notice. You know, he's holding on to this one and it's looking down. It sees these other large ones. But he's really just trying to hold this thing in. But there's a lot of other things going on in this card that are trying to get this creature's attention. And, you know, and so we have what I see here too. I see the Lover's card coming up, and this is almost like, you know, bound and determined, despite the fact that the Devil energy is also here. You know, the impulse here is to, you know, you might be digging yourself into a hole, whatever situation that you're in. You might be digging yourself into a prison of your own making, because here, you know, in this Devil card, this person is, and I'm seeing, you know, the heart is, the devil has, you know, is holding on to some aspect of your heart, but it's a really tiny heart. And the devil's actually so like into this heart, he's not even paying attention to this person who has the key. If this person looks up, very much like this dragon looks up, there's actually a key being held right above their head, the key to the lock that could unchain them. This is guilt. This is anger. This is resentment. That's, you know, keeping us actually out of, you know, out of opportunity, or in a situation that, again, there's a heart dangling over their head, but I see them so engaged with one another that they're ignoring that there's another opportunity. You know, and there's this defensiveness, all of this defensive kind of behavior going on here. A lot of defending of old thought patterns, like a real resistance. But the balance is being struck, and then we have another Five of Swords. You know, justice is coming in there, so that's all at the bottom of the deck. A lot of defensive stuff happening here in order to stay in whatever kind of situation, be it a work situation, any kind of partnership that should be healing, but maybe has run its course. You know, they're so engaged with one another that they're not looking at anything around them. You know, that may be just a love of our own, you know, just being so, entranced with something else. I'm going to pull a card from the Blessed Be deck. With this holding energy, with all of this upside down, I don't see that this is in, that Two of Cups energy is something that's particularly healthy. I'm going to sit with that for a minute, though. I'm going to see what comes up in the Blessed Be deck that offers us maybe a little insight on that. Just, by itself, the Two of Cups card would normally mean a divine partnership, something that's divine, something that's blessed. But with these other cards surrounding it, again, the victory is actually giving. I'm coming back to the Six of Wands came out first. The victory is doing a real honest to goodness self inventory about your feelings. What are you holding on to? Is it serving you? And oftentimes we hold on to things because we just don't want to change. And I see that all over these cards. Yeah, a blessing to find the truth. I think this card came up not too long ago. A blessing to find the truth. That's, here. A blessing to discover the truth in a situation so you can make choices with full awareness. A blessing on this time and on you so that the truth can be told and thus pour down upon you its unique freedoms. May you be unique free. Yeah, we become free if we can just face the truth. Those small voices. I talked about that earlier on, way earlier in this reading. May you be blessed with knowing the truth of your own soul, and let the transformative powers of truth bring you to the light so that what was once obscured now begins to shine, and what was uncertain now becomes defined. Sure, defined, sure, glittering in its certainty. Let the blessings of truth be your liberty now, for with truth there is a growth of wings that lift you up and beyond the current burdens that have kept you grounded. The Justice card came up in the bottom of the deck with the wings of the butterflies. That's transformation, right? And the Five of Swords is also here. So, and then the Emperor is also at the bottom. Growth of wings that lift you up and beyond the current burdens that have kept you grounded. Let the speaking of the truth bring you comfort. Let the open-hearted honesty of it cure any confusion, and let the conviction of your new knowledge bring you the rewards you are so dearly due. New knowledge, higher knowledge, that's Temperance. Let those who know you, who hear you, be healed by the contact with the purity of your words in yourself, and let no one be in any doubt as to the worth of your words and the quality of your character. That's belief systems, and that's some of the energy of today. It'll work in through tomorrow. Our belief systems and our faith in our knowledge is a Jupiterian impulse as well. So number 3. We have a 2 and a 5, which is a 7. Again, that's faith. That's faith. That's 25 is the number of this particular card. So that's actually faith and karma and and faith. We talked about that. Right? We already talked about having faith that things will be fine, but you have to have faith in that co-creation. Let no one be in any doubt as to the worth of your words and the quality of your character. There is no need to be anything except your own blessed, perfect, honest, and open self. Reveal, which I was, I'm sorry I keep going back to the cards, but no, I'm sorry, not sorry, whatever, I don't want to say that. This mask that is holding the key, that what is masking, what are we keeping, what mask are we wearing that's keeping us from being able to take that key and open it and free ourselves. Again, that freedom aspect that came up in this part of the reading. You know, what is the mask? You know, we want to be our open selves. In order to come out of this kind of cage, we've got to be willing to be authentic. And that's scary. That's a scary, yeah, right? We have to get beyond our fears in order to speak from our heart, to retrieve our heart and to actually speak from it. Again, coming back to that heart color in the Six of Wands. And I'm also noticing and being in victory, being in that, holding that laurel wreath. The green laurels, and the green of that little gem at the foundation of what he's standing on. There is no need to be anything except your own blessed, perfect, honest, and open self, revealed to you now as the truth of others, their motives laid bare without adornment or manipulation. Simple, simple. We talked about those small things. The small truth, it's coming out. Let the lamp of truth shine into all that was dark and unknown, both within and without, and let the words you have longed to speak fall freely and without concern from your lips. Truth shall bless you, and you shall bless others when you show, by example, the glorious simplicity of living within the power of your own truth. Live the truth of your soul, and may the souls that share the truth be blessed forever. Blessed be. So we thank you for the gifts of these beautiful cards. And I don't know what kind of bird this is. It's not a bald eagle. We've been talking about birds all morning. My dad was here earlier, and we saw this amazingly huge seagull. And also the bird. Yeah, the birds are here. There's a lot of truth, and I also see that star. There's a bit of a star card, and a bit of an Aquarian. That truth, right? Aquarian, very very strong truth. A lot of colors of the crown and the third eye, the crown, seventh chakra, and the sixth. In this card as well. So again, we have this card coming up, and the crows, the ravens, always trying to get your attention. What's trying to get your attention? What are we resisting? And I know it's not easy, but look, this crow, I'm noticing this crow here is bringing in a crown. See these small little things that are here and that are trying to bring us the things that we want. We must get still in order to hear them. We must stop running. All right, this message is long. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, just take the pieces that you want. I'll timestamp it when I pulled the cards. And like, share, subscribe, like I said, on any of the formats, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And if you want your own private reading, either message me directly or email me at lisa.loring@gmail.com. Donations are always accepted and appreciated. Thank you so much for those who do. And yeah, I love you. I'll timestamp it so you know where things are at, and I'll do another reading when we do. All right, enjoy.